Hello, this is Dr. Barnes again. I want to go over the course syllabus for Economics 201, Economics 202 at the same time. I think I can cover the basics that need to be covered, at least the ones that will probably be maybe somewhat confusing to you or you may have some anxiety about. So I want to cover that in this video clip. So let's get started. And if you don't have the course syllabus printed out in front of you, then you need to stop this video and do that first so you can follow along. I will not cover every single thing in here. It's a very lengthy syllabus. I'm only going to cover the things that I think will present confusion and anxiety or whatever to you, and hopefully that'll relax you so you can get started and do really well. Okay, so let's start with page 1, which is pretty straightforward, and I'm only going to cover just a few things on page 1. Obviously, the course is either Principles of Economics 201 or 202. 201 is Microeconomics and 202 is Macroeconomics. My name is of course, the beginning date and the ending date is listed, and then it's an independent study format, so that's also shown on the first page. The instructor is me, of course, and that's Dr. S. Ray Barnes. My phone number is work and home is 757-651-9494. And you can reach me by telephone between 1 p.m. and about 8 p.m. Daily. My email is 24/7. In terms of your work that you submit, I pride myself on trying to have it back to you very, very quickly, but never any longer than 72 hours, and usually much quicker than that. When I was coming along and going to graduate school, I used to get I don't know, put out with some of my instructors because they would be tardy, in terms of returning work that had been turned in. So I've always been very conscious and sensitive to that kind of thing. The next thing is my email address that's also listed, sbarnes@averett.edu, and the next section, the next topic is required materials, and it's just one book, and that's Principles, Economic Principles and Policy. That's edition 12 or 11. If you have a lot of money, you can buy 12. If you don't, buy 11. Not too much difference. There's some difference in terms of the financial crisis that we had. Edition 11 may not have all of that in there, but that's okay. We can make up for that through other methods. So please buy the book if you haven't already bought it, because you need to get started right away. It's a lot of reading. Course description, methodology, course objectives. I'm not going to cover that. They're different for 201 and 202, but they're straightforward. And as soon as you read the first couple of chapters, you're going to get a flavor for all of that anyway. So we'll leave those three things out. They're short and to the point. So let's move on to the last section on page 1, which is assessment and grading, and that is, of course, extremely important for you. In both of these courses, whether it be 201 or 202, you're going to be expected to write research papers, and they can be a challenge. And I'm pretty much a stickler about writing well. So I'm going to follow you and make sure that you do the proper work so that your evaluation is good. The most difficult thing for students in this course is trying to integrate theoretical concepts with current economic issues. that will be your biggest challenge. But if you can do that and you can write well, you'll do very well. Now, and it's going to take a little time, but I believe that all of you, if you try hard enough and practice enough, as we talked about in the welcome video, you'll do just fine. Let's just look at the grading scale, and it's pretty standard. You can get anywhere from an A to an F, and this numerically is in A is anywhere from 90 to 100, a B is 80 to 89, a C is 70 to 79, and a D is 60 to 69, and below 60 is an F, of course. Now, in terms of the evaluation of work, this is always important to students, and I want to cover this. I base my evaluation on two assessment rubrics. They're located in Appendix 1 and 2. The first rubric is the writing assessment, and the second one is the critical thinking assessment. Now, each one of those have categories of evaluation, and I have them listed on page 2. In Appendix 1, you'll see the first area that I look at for evaluation will be the document itself overall, then paragraph coherence, sentence structure, correctness is the fourth one. The fifth category is audience and tone, that is how you approach the audience. And the sixth one is supports and exhibits. And then the last one is presentation, the overall presentation and design of your paper. Now, you can, in each one of those categories, you can get as many as 10 points, or you can get as little as 1. But if you add up all those categories, it will equal 100. So that's how I come up with the first appendix, or the first rubric. So if you got a 10 in each area, then you'd end up with 100. With Appendix 2, there are 3 areas. One is the capstone area, another one would be milestone, and the last one is benchmark. All these are explained in each of these appendix that's in the syllabus, so you can read in detail what they are. And if you have any questions, of course, you can let me know. Again, we add all those up and we get 100. So if you get 100 in terms of Appendix 1 and 100 in Appendix 2, you divide by 2, and then you get your grade. That means you did very well. Okay, let's move on here to participation and attendance requirements. You are required to interact with me other than submitting work on certain dates, which is required by the IDEAL program. That you contacted me by email on particular dates, and they are issued. They are listed here. They're called interaction dates. August 28th is one, September 18th, October 16th, and then November 13th, and then that's it. But you must email me on that day or the day before, okay? To let me know that you're still in the course or alive or whatever. So I can report that back to the IDEAL program coordinator. Okay, the next section is important for a number of reasons, but the first one is that you have to know when your assignments are due and what it is that's expected of you to do those assignments, what it is you have to do. So they're listed by week, and the first week is, for example, I won't go through all of these, but I'll go through a few of these. The first week, it says to look at Appendix 3. Appendix 3 is nothing more than a table of contents of that's taken from the book that lists the chapters that you're supposed to read. That on the first week, the due date for that is August 28th, and that you're supposed to have read chapters 1 and 2. and that the title of that would be "What is Economics?" You're beginning to get into the science of economics, and I also list at the bottom of that week one the required interaction date, so that you have to email me on that date or the day before. In week two, it's pretty much the same thing in terms of what is required of you, but on week three, it changes because not only do you have the same requirements, you also have to submit what we call an abstract, which is nothing more than a purpose statement or a thesis statement as to what you're going to write about. What is it you're going to research, and what's the purpose of doing it? I have that explained in Appendix 4, I believe it is. So you can review that, and you shouldn't have any trouble with it. If you do, when you send me your abstract, I'll review it and probably tweak it a little bit, and if it's not exactly what we need, and return it to you. So try to get that right the first time if you can. Sometimes they're difficult because if you really don't know what it is you want to write about, what it is you want to research, what issue you're interested in, what topic you're interested in, then it's difficult to put that into a few words and state what exactly it is you want to do and want to say. So that's an extremely important first step in your research. Now, in week four, same kind of thing, but in week 5, I believe it is, week 5, you have to turn in your first paper. And it says here that there's an abstract that's due, there's an analysis that goes with the abstract, and then there's a summary that goes with all that, plus your references. All that is covered in Appendix 4, and you can follow that in order to be able to to do it the proper or the appropriate way. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. Now, one thing it doesn't say here, but it does say in the syllabus, I think it's probably the next page over, is that you have to submit a plagiarism check. And I give you 2 sites that you can use to see if you plagiarize something. I don't accuse people of anything because in my own research papers, I always check for plagiarism, and I do slip up. So you don't want to be caught, and the best way to avoid that is just submit it, and then you submit that to plagiarism website. They'll send you results. You attach that to your paper, and you send that to me along with your paper, and then I have it covered, and you're covered. Okay, and then it goes on until the 15th week, and that's when your last paper is due, and of course the semester is over. By the way, each one of these weekly assignments will be in Moodle, published almost identical to what I have in here, so you'll be able to go there and read the same thing. As far as expectations are concerned, I mean, you've got to follow the rules, and I have to follow the rules. I'm not going to go through these and read them word for word. You can do it. You're an adult, and so am I. And we know we both have responsibilities and obligations, and that's what we want to do. If we both do that, I'll be happy. You'll be happy, and you'll go away smiling and jumping up and down with joy. So let's try to follow that, and we should be in good shape. I just mentioned the honor code. Please don't cheat. Don't try to pull one over on me because I'll find out. I have methods to find these things out, and I don't want to have to call you on it. So just don't do it. And do your own work, and I'm here to help you all I can. If you're not a good writer, then between me and you in the Writing Center, we'll get you there. But you have to show me that you really want to do this and that you have some interest. And if you do that, I'm with you, and you'll do okay. Now, the syllabus goes on, and gets into, what the requirements for technology and software are. covered part of that in the welcome video, but you have to have Microsoft Office Suite, whether it be Windows 2, Microsoft 207 or 210 or Windows 8 or whatever, but you have to have proper technology in order to be in the course. Library and information resources, I have all those email addresses, contacts, phone numbers and everything. I would suggest that you make use of the Averett Library. They have some very, very, very good sources. I use it all the time. It can save you time. The internet is of course very, very good for for researching topics. I use it myself quite often, but the library seems to be easier for me. I can go right to what I'm looking for, and it saves a lot of time. But that's up to you. But I certainly, if it were me, I would make use of that. The student support, I have all those things listed there for you at the bottom of this page. Add drop policies are on the next page, and then there's also the Averett Student Success Center. Every single person that you need to contact is listed there. I actually lifted this from the vice president's email that was sent, and just copied and pasted it right into this document. So that should be readily available to you, and don't hesitate to use it. Okay, if you get confused, then let me know. The next page is Appendix 1, which is the writing assessment rubric, and it shows what it is that I'm going to be looking at in terms of evaluation. And for each category, I give you a score, and you can see how it's shown. And of course, your total score would be 20 points if you got 10 in each one. Is that what it is? I think it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know. Anyway, it comes out to 20, and so you need to look at that and make sure that you have that firmly implanted in your mind. And then there's Appendix 2, which is a critical thinking rubric. That also shows you what your total score would be if we look at all those categories. Okay, so let's move on here to Appendix 3. If you want to look at that, it's a table of contents. That's what's listed in your table of contents in your textbook, and that tells you which chapters to read, which of course is reflective of your assignments that are due weekly, or reflected in your assignments that are due weekly. And then Appendix 4, boy, this is an extremely important one, because if you don't get this one right, then I'm going to ship your paper back to you, and I'm going to take off for not doing it properly, because it's shown here in black and white and red and green, but it's easy to follow. So stay with that one, and do the best you can. If you have any questions, please let me know. And by the way, at the bottom of this document, there are the 2 plagiarism sites that you can use. That in fact is shown in red, as you see, and you can use each one of these. Both of these are working as far as I know. So sometimes these things go down because they're used quite heavily with people. So if you find that you can't use either one, you'll have to contact me, and we'll find another one for you, or I'll have it run myself. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. If you have any more questions, feel free again to get in touch with me, and I hope I've covered this properly. I don't know that I've covered everything, but I'm trying to do this. But this is the first time I've done this in terms of this kind of approach for this program, and so there may be other things that I should cover that I haven't covered. So if that's the case, feel free to call me or email me or something, and I'll clear it up for you. Okay? So you guys have a great day. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.